ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track. And ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
Psst. Hey besties, listen up. I have a secret to tell you. LinkedIn now has improved the job search experience for nurses. Search by your specialty, the shifts you want to work, and the salary that you want to make. With so many employers hiring on LinkedIn, finding the perfect job is even more simplified. So don't spend months searching. Go to linkedin.com/nurses and find out why in the past year, more than 1.5 million nurses have used LinkedIn to search for their next role. That's linkedin.com/nurses.
Clorox Sentiva smells like grapefruit. Cleans like Clorox. And feels like...
Okay, we could be here all day. Try Clorox Sentiva for a trusted clean with long-lasting freshness. Also available in lavender and coconut. Use as directed.
Subtle results, still you, but with fewer lines. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. 3 couples, 4 vacations, a lot to unpack. Watch The 4 Seasons, a new series starring comedy favorites Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, and more in a hilarious and heartfelt love letter to long-term relationships. Based on the original Alan Alda film. Watch The 4 Seasons, May 1st, only on Netflix.
American soccer fans, welcome to episode 153 of the USA Soccer Cast. We are bringing you everything about the U.S. national teams, the players, the leagues, and everything else that impacts the game of soccer in these United States. I'm Donald Wine. It has been a minute, but we're back. There's a busy summer of soccer coming up, and we'll be covering all of that in the coming weeks. But I wanted to touch on the soccer wars that have started to form on the women's pyramid. A few weeks ago, we learned that not one, but 2 leagues are forming in Division II on the pyramid and aim to start play in 2026. The NWSL Division II and WPSL Pro. Let's start first with the NWSL second division, which is slated to begin in 2026 with 8 teams. Bay FC, Kansas City Current, Gotham FC, North Carolina Courage, Orlando Pride, Racing Louisville, Seattle Reign, and the Washington Spirit. Eventually, each NWSL team will get a team in this league. They hope to do that by year 4, according to the proposal, but right now they'll start with 8. No info was given about why these particular 8 teams are doing it, and even if they're ready to do so, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. It is a reserve league. This is one where you, in theory, will have rosters similar to that of MLS Next Pro, but it could eventually be one that's similar in the fact that MLS teams will have their reserve teams, and there could be some independent teams as well. We don't have roster rules for this proposed league either, so it's unclear how it would work for these teams once this league gets started. The other league that's aiming to start next year is the WPSL Pro League, which hopes to launch with 15 teams. Those 15 teams coming in Houston, Austin, Cleveland, Fargo, Atlanta, Denver, Fort Collins, Oklahoma City, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Columbia, South Carolina, Dallas, Oakland, Wichita, and somewhere in Southern California. They also have a team in New Jersey that is scheduled to enter in 2027. All of these teams would be independent teams, unlike NWSL Division II, which, as I mentioned, is beginning as a reserve league. Still, both of these leagues, in theory, would be sanctioned as Division II and would be competing directly against each other in what is now a growingly crowded market. We have a lot to talk about with regards to the pyramid, so we'll pause here. We'll discuss the full pyramid and how all this should get organized. So stay with us through this quick break.
In golf, precision is everything, on and off the course. PGA of America chose advanced 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business for smooth operations and seamless transactions. Together, we enhance ticketing and concessions for better fan experiences from gate to green. This is pro-level efficiency. This is PGA of America with T-Mobile for Business. Take your business further at T-Mobile.com/now.
Hey guys, finding the perfect gift for the food lover in your life is easy. Thanks to Goldbelly. Goldbelly ships America's most iconic foods straight from world-famous restaurants right to your door. So if you want to treat someone to Joe's Stone Crab from Miami, Franklin Barbecue from Texas, or desserts from famous foodies like Ina Garten or Martha Stewart, Goldbelly has you covered with free shipping anywhere in the country. Just go to goldbelly.com and for a limited time, get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT. That's promo code GIFT.
Morning decisions. A creamy mocha frappuccino drink? A sweet vanilla? Maybe a smooth caramel? Or that white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Start your day with bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. Pick up a bottle near you wherever you buy your groceries.
Shopping is hard.
I can never find anything in my size.
I don't even know my size.
I buy my clothes the same place I buy my groceries.
There's a better way. Make it easy with Stitch Fix. Just share your size, style, budget, and done. Your personal stylist sends pieces picked just for you.
That was easy.
Stitch Fix. Online personal styling for everyone. Free shipping and returns. No subscription required. Get started today at stitchfix.com.
Holiday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Holiday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Holiday. Holiday, bring it on.
Hey everyone, are you looking for the latest gear for your U.S. national teams, Major League Soccer, the NWSL, or any other team in the world of soccer? The USA Soccercast has affiliate partnerships that are ready to help you out. Head to linktree.com/USA Soccercast, where we have links to Homage, Fanatics, the MLS Store, and Breaking Team. You can get the jersey, shirt, hat, or accessory you're looking for to support your team, while also saving some money and helping this show in the process. Again, linktree.com/USA Soccercast. Click on the links and get your gear. And we thank you as always for your support of the show. We're back, and as we continue discussion of the new Division II leagues that are aiming to launch in 2026, I wanted to take a look at the full American soccer pyramid on the women's side, because all of a sudden, it feels like we need some organization. If you take a look at the pyramid, here's how it stands as of right now. And remember, these two leagues that are proposed for Division II have not yet been approved, and they're not yet ready to play, but we're going to refer to them as if they were approved. Division One, we have the NWSL and we have the USL Super League, which is, of course, completing its inaugural season in a couple of weeks. Division Two, we have NWSL 2 and WPSL Pro, that is if US Soccer sanctions them both. And then we don't have a Division 3. We have just amateur leagues left: United Women's Soccer, WPSL, the USLW League, and the US Adult Soccer Association. So how does this eventually get organized? All these leagues are going to once again be going after the same cities to try and compete head on against each other instead of maybe tapping into some cities that may be right for soccer growth. WPSL Pro, they're having teams in Denver, Oakland, Southern California, Jersey right after that, all competing against NWSL. Do you remember the Cleveland ownership group who tried to get into NWSL and lost out to Denver? Yeah, they're the Cleveland team that's in WPSL Pro. USL Super League and WPSL Pro will each have teams in Dallas. And already, the USL Super League is going up against the NWSL in DC, New York, New Jersey, and the Bay Area. That's creating situations where you have metro areas that are starting to get quite saturated with soccer. And each of these leagues are going to be marketing to the same people, the same discretionary dollars that they may have. What's also important is the requirements for Division II sanctioning by U.S. Soccer, which NWSL Division II and WPSL Pro will have to navigate. Those requirements are: 1, every stadium has to have at least 2,000 seat capacity. Number 2, a principal owner with a net worth over $7.5 million. And number 3, 50% of the clubs in the league must be in TV markets over 500,000 people. In the case of NWSL Division II, they've covered that by creating reserve teams for existing clubs that, as of now, are scheduled to play in their main stadiums. WPSL Pro has more of a ramp up in that regard. Currently, 4 of those teams are slated to play in stadiums that have capacities below 2,000 seats. South Star FC in the Dallas area is in a 1,500 seat stadium, and Oklahoma City and Houston's clubs are apparently playing at stadiums that have a capacity under 1,000. The SoCal team doesn't even have a stadium named yet, so before the league even starts, that would need to be addressed. For the NWSL Division II, sure, it may satisfy the requirements to have their reserve teams play at the stadiums their first teams play in, but that's not always feasible. Let's take, for example, the case of the Washington Spirit right here in my town of Washington, D.C. Their reserve team would be the 5th team that would be slated to play Audi Field. Audi Field already has DC United, the Spirit First Team, DC Power, and the UFL's DC Defenders. Seattle Reigns reserve team, they're going to be playing at Lumen Field, which doesn't seem remotely close to feasible, especially with the Sounders and the Seahawks already playing there. It's a 68,000 seat stadium. The stadium is hosting 6 World Cup matches next summer when this league is supposed to start. Only KC Current, who have their own stadium, would have the ability to control scheduling for their reserve team. And because of that, you could see some really funky times that teams are playing in. And most notably, God bless the groundskeepers for some of these fields and having to maintain it for all of these teams that are slated to play it. According to a report by The Athletic, there's also the fact that not all of these teams listed in the proposal for NWSL Division II are fully on board. There's pushback that centers around the cost of operating a second team, as well as the fact that there are no real rules for rosters and everything else. Could this be an advantage for the 8 teams that would start in year 1? In theory, they could sign a bunch of younger players and stash them on the reserve team until they feel they're ready. Of course, teams could eventually establish academies and give them professional opportunities this way. And if someone is coming back from a lengthy injury or other layoff, they could get their conditioning up on the reserve team. That's a potential advantage for those teams. But does it outweigh the additional costs for some of these teams that are already operating on shoestring thin budgets and in crowded training facilities that they may not have full access to in the first place? It's additional locker rooms and staff, and it feels like a lot to do if you're not fully on board. Overall, the U.S. soccer pyramid is already a mess on the men's side in many ways, and the last thing we need is for the women's pyramid to be just as messy. Growing this pyramid organically, it's essential because teams can cultivate in all corners of the country, including Alaska, including Hawaii, including continental 48 states like Montana, Wyoming, or the Dakotas. Of course, you need investment in those areas and a big pocketed individual or series of individuals who are willing to put their money into building a team in those locales or even bigger markets. Hopefully they can figure this out so that when those teams launch, when these leagues launch, they do so the right way with a pathway to success and a plan to build community around these teams. I'll also end with this. Everyone wants to create their own legacy backed by the coattails of the 2026 World Cup. And on the women's side, they have yet another tentpole moment in the 2031 Women's World Cup, which is fully expected to be primarily in the United States. But the legacy of 2026 shouldn't be rushed. Don't launch in 2026 just for the sake of launching in 2026, especially when the world and all its resources will be centered around one event. The coattails of 2026 will stretch long beyond the end of that tournament. And so launching in 2026 just to get that headline, just to get that buzz around the World Cup isn't worth it if you're not ready. Having more women's soccer is a great thing, and hopefully we're moving towards more cities having women's soccer teams, whether they're independent teams or linked to other clubs. But if you don't do it right, we've seen what happens. You set these teams up for failure, you set the leagues up for failure, and nobody wants that. So we watch and wait, and we see how these leagues come together, and if U.S. Soccer approves them to play next year, then the race will really be on for these leagues to get ready to take flight. That will do it for episode 153 of the USA Soccer Cast. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, you can find us on Blue Sky and YouTube. Follow us on both at USA Soccer Cast. Subscribe, rate, and review our shows. It helps us get in front of new people, and it's greatly appreciated. And tell your friends about us. Also, check out our affiliate links and our stimulus store. We have everything you need to watch the beautiful game and follow your teams, and you clicking those links helps support the show. So we'll talk to you again soon, y'all. Peace.